Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart, you're doing it. Crazy Dee.
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.
All right, people. How you doing? Let me take my mask off. This is another installment of Nothing But the Facts.
Oh boy.
Over here is, to my left is,
It's your man, Student Burley. After the Jizzle, Franklyn G. You know how it is.
and
Or how it was.
Okay.
When it was what it was.
And
Simo.
and over here
That's a throwback.
is your ever
the early viewers.
your ever faithful host, Crazy Dee. You know, you can also see us right now on Like It Is on Facebook.
How do I do that?
Like It Is Radio. You know,
I
you
gotta
go
go to
right
you.
there and you get to share.
No, I gotta go to your site.
You have to go to Crazy Dee, right? And then you push share, and then you share it on your pages so people will know that you are on. Right, so.
Turn the volume down.
That's right, so.
No, I didn't even do that.
So you go over to Crazy Dee, then you push share, and then share this on your page so your friends can see this live podcast here. And then you can also see it on Like It Is Radio. You can see it on Franklyn G. Burley, you're getting ready to connect it over.
You should
get ready to share
it.
it. Yeah, you've done it before. You forgot. But anyway, again, welcome to Nothing But the Facts. We are here to, talk about positive aspects of the black diaspora and much, much more. So, where will we start today?
I know where to start. So I got the hat on, so we're gonna right at it.
Oh my.
I want to talk about those pastors that sat down with
With your 45th president.
with this dude.
Right, that's your 45th.
They came there and talked on behalf of the larger black community as black preachers representing what? You know, the gimme attitude, the get over attitude. They went there with their pockets unfilled and left with their tongues hanging out. It was supposed to be some kind of endorsement from the black pulpit. I don't respect any of those guys. How do we get a chance to go down and sit with the king? You didn't say something. Isn't that what the whole biblical thing is about? When you got to challenge people, didn't people get challenged in the Bible when they knew they were getting a chance to sit with the king? Even little David's, when they said you can't win, he went out there and fought. Don't get choked up on the Republicans. Take it easy. But the bottom line is,
what is he talking about?
I'm talking about the 12 preachers who just sat down with President Trump and said that I'm not even going to talk about the head crony, but his name is Scott. He says he's a this and a that, and talked about all kind of other stuff, how he vociferously appreciates what 45 has done. How could that be? When you know that he is really Herod, and you know that he is really the one who has brought off so much negativity and split within the country. How could you sit down with the king and not ask him for nothing? And these guys are supposed to be men of God. And they went to worship the idol as opposed to the people who are struggling. What do you think about the preachers who do that kind of thing? Scott and these guys. Because I know that we got some issues. And I know that the preachers used to mean something. But right now, driving around in those communities, there was even a preacher in Detroit, I don't know if you caught that, his congregation, he asked them for $1,000 a piece. And some other brothers went there and disrupted the whole thing in as much as they said, how could you ask for $1,000 from your parishioners? And this is the ghetto. How you have a nice car? Creflo Dollar asked for an airplane. What's wrong with black preachers? What happened to black preachers? What? Huh? I Do you go to church, man? Can I ask you that live?
Let's unpack this a little bit. Because you're asking a lot of things within one question. There's a lot of different topics and subtopics within that question that you're asking, and so we need to unpack that.
Yeah, well, what's up, Philly? Let me unpack that. These guys went and they talked with. They went and talked with Donald Trump.
You called Donald Trump Herod. Now, what did Herod do in the Bible?
Yeah.
Didn't it have something to do with John the Baptist?
Well, let's break it down.
Okay, John the Baptist. So we have to put it into
I ain't gonna go
perspective.
I ain't gonna break you.
I mean, Herod, he had the woman that he was married to, and his daughter came, and the daughter was dancing sexy for him, and said that, and then you could have the daughter or something like that. Is that what the wife told him?
Hey, we need to get a preacher. We need to get a preach up in here. Don't want to misquote the book.
The daughter said, I'm paraphrasing, and the daughter said, "I will dance for you, Fat Herod." At least that's how they depict it in the movie.
That little Bible,
but I will dance for you if you bring me the head of the Baptist. Is that how that story went? Is that how that story went? Okay, so when we're unpacking that, is he really Herod?
I don't know, but they want somebody's head.
Or is he?
Somebody's head.
Or is he Nimrod?
I want to sit down with the king and come there and not ask for anything. It's definitely.
Well, maybe we don't know what they asked.
They didn't get anything, because if they had anything, they would have supposed to do the same thing. Prior, Trump had the black college presidents come take his portrait picture. They got nothing. If they had an agenda, they were supposed to be talking about prison reform and things of that nature. He wouldn't have given us, like, come on, prison reform from these guys, the preachers, the $1 million preachers. The only person that had prison reform that has anything that works is Kim Kardashian. She got something. She went there, she got something, she became publicized for it, she got thanked for it. Preachers got nothing. They're selling us out as a community. They take thousands of our dollars every week with no social justice for the larger Hispanic community. Talking about pie in the sky.
You know,
those guys are terrible.
You know, let's unpack it a little bit more.
Don't unpack it.
Let's unpack it a little bit more, okay? There's
what about it?
I don't know if the person, he's on YouTube and he has a YouTube presence. And I don't know if he's a conservative or a liberal or if he's just in between. It's a black man. And he has this show that he talks about different topics that have to do with the black diaspora. And it also has to do with the politics of who was in the presidency at the time.
Who is this guy? Name names.
I really
name names
because I didn't know that you were going to go here today.
That's the beautiful thing about a podcast.
Right? That's right. It's off the top. So, he has a podcast and he talked about the preachers. Now, when Trump first got into office, the preachers, same preachers that you see there today,
Scott, that fool.
The same people. I want to get on Scott because we have to keep on unpacking this. The same preachers,
same sellouts.
Okay, well, can we tell the story without being hyperbolic and hyper?
No, that's the podcast.
Hyper Negro. No, I'm just saying hyper.
Nothing but the facts.
Hyper Negro. Anyway, look, okay.
How many Supreme Court people is he going to put in front of us that will help this community? As opposed to
okay, see, you're throwing more topics, so let's unpack these things. I need to have a notebook to write these things down because, you know, Franklin's mind moves quickly and so fast that you have to have a notebook to write down these different topics so we don't miss one because he's adding on within this and we have to unpack all this. And I'm trying to unpack about the preachers to have a perspective. And then we can go back in and decide if they're sellouts or not. Okay.
Selling out.
So, you know, Omarosa was standing there.
Omarosa's book came out this week. Omarosa's book came out this week, y'all.
So Omarosa
said she was there.
Yeah, she was there. Omarosa was standing there at the time, and she was there with the preachers at the time. Matter of fact, I think that she was the black liaison. You know.
She said we're going to have to bow down.
Yeah. She was the black liaison at the time. And she brought them in. Now, unbeknownst to most people, because the media did not cover this, they have, you remember the Panthers 10-point plan. Do you remember the Panthers' 10-point plan? Do you know?
Feed the community.
Okay, right. All that. Okay. They actually have a 12-point plan.
Who?
The preachers. The media has not covered this.
Oh,
The so-called liberal media. I'm just trying to unpack this a little bit.
Where's that at?
Wait, hold it. Listen. I'm going to find the link after we finish this, and I'm going to post the video, and then people can listen to this man for himself. He's not a liberal or a conservative. He's just a person
so what's he
that's
doing?
concerned.
He's just asking what?
He's not saying that. This is before this new incident just happened. Okay,
well, the newest
because this is an
incident.
incident. Because all of these are incidents until they pan out.
Yesterday was the preseason. All right.
Wait. See, you're trying to move on. We have to unpack this. We have to unpack it. Okay.
Giving it.
So listen.
Ain't that part of America too?
So that's right. So listen. So there is a 12-point plan that the preachers have actually presented to Trump.
Okay.
Wait a minute now. And Trump is, by what the man was saying, is supposed to be working on. Now, but here's where my first question of this, as we unpack this: how strong can the preachers be if the first thing that when they actually met with the man, the first thing that happened to them was the people started saying that, they were sellouts automatic. There's a question that is starting to rise in all this is, when do you engage? Are you ever going to engage? Because if this man gets engage with the man,
talk with him.
Yes, right. Because if the man wins,
he will win.
In 2020.
He'll win.
The people who have engaged with him in these first 4 years are the only people that he's going to talk to. So that's one. When are we going to engage with him? And two, how strong can the preacher's 12-point platform be when there are no black folks that are willing to sit down first and learn about the 12-point plan, and then see if what they're talking about some of it can or can't be implemented. Those are my two questions. So let's unpack that first before we say, and then we can discuss if they're sellouts or not, because there is a 12-point plan, and he laid out each one, and this was like maybe 6 months ago.
Pastor Scott.
No. The whole
panel. That's what they got. Okay, so
with a 12-point plan.
So if they came 6 months ago with a 12-point plan,
no.
has been accomplished?
I saw this 6 months ago, but this happened when they first met.
What has been accomplished? What has been accomplished since then? He's made judgeships. There's only been one federal judge appointed out of 86 that he's appointed under his administration. And even the person you talked about, Amarosa, the only African-American female in his staff, has not been replaced. If you talk about things that he's done under his leadership and Ben Carson also, he's raised welfare rates for the Section 8 housing and is eliminating programs for Section 8 by talking about even delivering food. I give you 2 words with this cat. Why would you trust him? I give you 2 words. Ready for these 2 words? Puerto Rico. What? Puerto Rico still has blackouts. He still hasn't assisted them. He still hasn't facilitated and helping them. But yet he's given $12 billion to the farmers in a subsidy give back, which is really corporate welfare. So based on those kind of things, and just a few fractures of what I look at in terms of the Republican administration that has put forth, if he's making America great again, ain't that part of America?
What?
Should not be part of. So when you ask those things, back to your 12-point plan, what have they gotten when I can give you all of these instances where you could have helped African Americans, brown people, women, or even just not talked about Charlottesville, which is coming up on the 1-year anniversary this weekend that they get ready. And in fact, under his administration, most Americans more divided than even they were with Obama. But he doesn't even use a dog whistle anymore. He uses a bullhorn.
Okay.
It's pure race baiting with this individual to have had those 12 passes, millionaires, most of them, who probably contributed to him on the way in, who may get programs for their church. The improvements that could have been made in their community have been failed to be realized by most of those pastors' constituents.
Okay. So let's unpack this a little bit more, because you threw a lot more on top of it. So let's unpack. Okay. Let's unpack this. What is the difference between the those particular pastors and their 12-point plan and those people who are pushing agenda that Trump is working with and pushing through. What's the difference?
What is it pushing through? What is he pushing through?
Those people have a lobbying block that is pushing the agenda.
Those pastors?
No, not the pastors. I'm saying the people who are getting these things passed. These judges that are going on to turn the Supreme Court maybe back to the type of Supreme Court that was there when the Dred Scott decision came down, right?
Huh.
So what I'm saying to you is, what's the difference? When will we begin to? Because
when you mean black people?
Yeah. When will black people look?
We've had
women. We had Taft.
Racist.
Right.
Historical fact. Nothing but the facts.
We had Grover Cleveland.
Done.
Okay.
So what? We strive to get better in those communities?
What I'm saying to you is, the people during that time, people like W.E.B. Du Bois, they did go and discuss and meet with those presidents, and we know that those presidents were racist. It's like people forget the history because, one, the history isn't being taught in schools, and two, when we teach history ourselves, we seem to only want to teach African history and about ourselves, but we never really teach true American history to our children. We want to only show that we were once kings and queens. Wait a minute. We only want to show that we were kings and queens, and then we want to show all the inventions that we did. But all these inventions and all the advancement that we did, but through all this advancement, there were people in offices, and if people go back and do the history, they will say that this dude is well worse than the dude that we have in now, because they knew how to mask their racism and just push it forward. This guy may not have as much intellect as those back then had, but they were worse then than this guy is now. Or if they are equal, then go back and learn the history to know how to actually combat this, because there were people who were talking to all those presidents all during the time. You don't think W.E.B. Du Bois said, well, I don't like this president, so I'm not going to speak to him. Of course they did, and they knew that this president's constituency was racist. They knew that, but they went out and they spoke to them and got some concessions from that side, or we wouldn't be here today. That's all I'm saying. So when the difference between the people who are getting everything passed by Trump through and the pastors there with the 12-point plan is, no one has read the 12-point plan who are black. They just automatically calling them sellouts. And maybe if they're these people who had force, who had these groups, could go and lobby and push for that 12-point plan to go through if they so saw that it was a value of what they were saying. That's all I'm saying. That the only difference between the black folks that are the preachers, let's just take the preachers, and they're in connection with him, the only difference is they don't have that lobbying block, because everybody wants to say, oh, he's a racist. Oh, they're sellouts.
Man, you repeating the same.
No, guy. You got to repeat it 3 times to get it out there. No, I'm just asking you. I'm asking you.
I'm going to tell you.
When will that happen?
First off, the spirit of college and the spirit of racism has always been there.
Oh,
the climate that it's accepted at has diminished over time due to the African American participation in the American dream. You cannot compare what was racist in the W.B. Du Bois time to what is understood and recognized as racist today. We have a higher level of concept and a less understanding and measurability back then because we had less power. Be real, speak facts. Like you said, it's about this. 45 doesn't have to use the small games that he may have had to do. When Lincoln met with Lincoln met with Frederick Douglass, he met him out of respect. When George Washington Carver got an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C., he was received with respect. These pastors came there on their own dollar to pontificate for their own measures, not to help the larger black masses. And the loudness of racism now that Trump has illuminated is paralleled, or at least definitely far beyond what was back then, because we had no say. So it's like when you go to the dentist, you can take some Novocaine and it deadens it. But now we have better products to do the same thing Novocaine did without the same byproduct of it. What I'm trying to say is African American society is supposed to be further down the road and evolved now than the times that you're mentioning. Trump is definitely bringing it back. The 12-plan program is nothing. If it was something, it would happen. HBCUs would have money. He wouldn't be trying to curtail voting rights as he's done in several places. He would also, I keep going back to Puerto Rico. If he was going to do something, there's a place where he can help black and brown people. He just imprisoned black and brown babies at the border, kept them from their families. The administration sets the tone, which is what it is. It's tacit agreement to sit there and say they have a 12-point plan if anybody will listen to it. Why would I listen to a 12-point plan when you have a 100-point plan in front of you? You haven't done anything. From the minute he came down the escalator, he said that. I diss Mexicans and this and that. Why would he call African countries and Haitian countries shithole countries? Sorry to curse. Why would he say that? He said that. He said that.
Yeah,
those are the language.
They say that on TV now, so we're clear on that.
But they say Dookie cleanses. So what I'm trying to say, he talks about things that are purely more racist. The same way he even said with Charlottesville, oh, there were some good people on those other sides. What happens is the evolution that America has gone through since those people you mentioned in the past and the things that we overcame with more racism, apparently, but now they say that racism is gone. We're in a post-racist society. Everybody has the same opportunity. They don't. They fund things differently. They do education differently. They make legislations that's anti-black, if you will, saying that you're going to have an attorney general who says we're not going to pursue any police problems or wrongdoings. And that's why you see the spike in that, because now they know at the highest federal level they can get away with killing African Americans. As we look at this weekend, because this weekend is the anniversary of Tahashi Brown, who was choked out here. And they said, oh, boom, 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 now he's going to be in some kind of trouble. The grand jury found nobody's in trouble. So the reality of the people Mr. Trump has placed in front of us has set the tone for the current demise and the further continuance of that said demise on the hands of black, brown, and even it's going to be a lot of white people caught up in it too. But the bottom line is a 12-point plan without any resolution on any of the matters I mentioned prior. And I'll just leave you with that. Puerto Rico only have no plan. They don't have no plan for Puerto Rico. They haven't. Okay. Part of America.
If we have evolved,
and black people,
you said black people have evolved, and we know the lessons. If we really knew if we really knew the lessons of the past, then we would know how to combat.
No, because racism is constant. Keep moving the
goalposts.
goalposts.
Wait a minute.
They keep moving the goalposts.
No, they keep moving the goalposts. But if we have evolved, and we're supposed to be further along in our thinking,
America and society and mankind, yes.
No. What I'm saying is, we have gone further along, and black people are further along, then we should know how to combat this. But why we don't know how to combat this is because we have not studied our history.
Incorrect.
Or people.
Incorrect.
Yes.
Systems branches, not branches. It's not one thing.
Okay, so what I'm saying is
systems of racism.
There's systems of racism.
That's
exactly right.
And
so if people did not read, if people had read her book, the ISIS papers, if they had read her book, truly, if people had put that in their kids' hands instead of wait a minute, some. If they had put it in their kids' hands instead of relying on school systems that are instead of relying on school systems that are run by those who hate you, you think, oh, we got civil rights, so now we can go to the schools that they went to, we can do this and we can do that. But wait, when it's all said and done, you cannot change. You can change laws, but you can't change what's in people's hearts.
Are you supposed to do that?
So no, what I'm saying is, so we were supposed to teach our kids those lessons so that they could push forward. So really, we have not advanced. I disagree with that totally and thoroughly, because we would not have been in this situation that we are in right now had we not taken our hands off the steering wheel. We took it. We went to sleep. We went to sleep behind the wheel. We went to sleep behind 2009. We went to sleep behind the wheel.
2009, you think Africans went to sleep behind the wheel? What we were there behind?
2009, when the person came out there and they were at the park and everybody was crying.
Who are you talking about? Hillary? Oh, please.
We went to sleep.
See that?
We went to sleep at the wheel, and
sorry about that. Live TV, live phone.
We went to sleep at the wheel.
No.
And this is where we are now. We went to sleep at the wheel. We thought everything was gonna be fine.
Who?
We never asked the man.
Who?
We never asked the man for anything. We just loved him because he was the embodiment of. We finally had our first black president, and that's what it is. Who asked him for? Did we ask him for anything?
Who? I think the black community at large asked him for
what would they ask?
And I would say,
what did they ask?
I will tell you. I will tell you what things he should have done or what things he could have done. I also have fire remorse. I would say that the leadership itself, the image, all Obama was supposed to do was give us the image. They were supposed to get anything from this cat. They didn't put it in life for. He didn't meet with the Congressional Black Caucus on a regular basis.
Why didn't he meet with them?
Why would he?
Why would he? Because for what reason?
He's the system. He's the power.
No. For what reason didn't he? There was only one person, John Lewis. He was the only one that went with him. Everyone else was going with Hillary.
Believe that. You can place that. Politics. They weren't going to let him do anything. Come on, man.
Listen.
Politics. He was the image.
If he never met with the caucus, why? Because they weren't initially behind him in the beginning.
Doesn't have anything to do with it.
Politics.
So what? No,
make strange bad fellows.
You expect too much from one singular individual.
I mean, it's not about the singular. Why?
What was he supposed to do?
You have to admit,
what was he supposed to do for
8 years, the Congressional Black Caucus, what did they do for the 8 years that President Obama was in there?
Wait.
They were supposed to make the plight of black people better. That's why we send them over there, right? That's why people elect representatives, and people don't elect senators and representatives to make their life better.
No, because African Americans are participating in the vote. Overwhelmingly, even in their own
communities. Oh my God! For those 8 years,
for those 150 years, I don't care when it is or where it is. You're trying to put too much on the shoulders.
Wait a minute now. If black people are not participating in the vote, why is the Congressional Black Caucus still populated with black people?
Because there's still a black ghetto. Duh.
No, but so obviously they're still voting.
Not in mass. If you look at it, I bet you look at the numbers of representation even in Harlem. The numbers of citizens who vote as opposed to the citizens who participate in the vote. Harlem, I've been in buildings when I registered. There's a building right on 135th Street in Broadway. There are 2,200 apartments. 2,200 apartments in this one thing. 3333 Broadway. Y'all can look it up. It's right there in my voting district. You go there to register people to vote. In a building that has 2,200 apartments. You see how many registered voters? 2,200 registered voters. It'd be nice if that be your mother or your wife or whoever you're living with. So figure that in this building of 2,200 voters, supposed applicants who can vote, who pay rent, who pay electricity, who pay cable, who look for parking, who have children in schools. Because there's 4 or 5 different full-court basketball courts and a handball court. And there's a school in the bottom of that building. You would think that there would at least be 2,300 registered voters. There are less than 400, this is back in my day, there are less than 418 registered voters in a building that should have 2,200. Out of that 418, when you thought about it, when it came time, they do have a precinct in there. You want to know how many people out of the 400 voted? Less than
10%.
Less than 100. So African Americans, based on that one particular structure in an oppressed community, like many other communities, I'm sure down in Florida, Little Haiti, even in the west side of Chicago, or even here in Vegas. These seats are filled by the people who vote. And in those votes, the diminished amount of voting returns is not applicable or comparable to the amount of people who live in that area.
So what you're telling me is once Harlem is fully regentrified,
voting will pick up.
Voting will pick up, definitely. And there will be one less Congressional Black Caucus.
Well, right now there is, because the Hispanics have picked up and they have won that seat.
Right. So there's one less.
One less.
And as they keep on regentrifying
Other
these
areas, it happens everywhere else.
then there will be a one more less
Correct.
Congressional Black Caucus.
Correct.
So Congressional Black Caucus started in 1960
something. No,
I thought it was
cares?
Shirley Chisholm.
Forget about
Shirley Chisholm, right?
I have no doubt.
No,
Because Shirley Chisholm, they didn't participate with her, and I would digress to say to you, the hell with the Black Caucus, because they did exist, and when Shirley Chisholm was elected as a female black representative, people did not talk to her. Black men who were there disrespected her.
And also, that's right. And when she was running for president, what did the guy do? He went the other congressman.
Let's not even go
we don't even go into his name. However,
the bottom line is, let's keep it back.
So this
to
is my
ISIS
point.
And racism.
So this is
CBC
back to my
is
point.
whack. Pastors are whack.
Women now.
Leadership is black. That is whack. That is why we're in the compromised situation
this is
we are right now.
exactly what I'm saying. So the Congressional Black Caucus has been around since late 60s, early 70s.
Doing what?
And so let's just go to when we had our first black president. What did they do for those 8 years?
Same thing as a CBC. Nothing. Imaging.
So my point is this. So as we unpack this, it came to my original premise, which is we are actually no further along developing as far as politics or economics.
We're further along politics.
No, we can't be, because the people who are supposed to be our representatives that over there are doing nothing. And as the different parts of the city become regentrified in the areas they are, there will be one less Congressional Black Caucus member until there is no more Congressional Black Caucus.
Because there will be
what
less and
did
less
they
black,
do? And why were they over there? And they didn't even address the 3/5 of the human beings clause in the Constitution. But anyway,
throwing all that,
we can move on.
That's what I'm saying. Pastors is whack. They sat down like Steph Coons and they walked away like Just Coons. That's the fact. They went there to preach the gospel. They sat down and took in facts that were not true and lied to by the government while their parishioners suffered.
What did that person say right there?
That was your lovely wife.
What did she say?
Let me see here. No, Phil Pot first.
What did he say?
Oh, Phil Pot, what's up? He says, hey, look at blacks. He's black. And then your wife said, we had a black president. We should have given him a 12-point plan. She would have lied. I got to go on. And definitely LGBT. They didn't have to give him a plan. They supported him by voting and writing checks. That's how you get stuff done. If you're not going to vote, you've got to write checks. We didn't write checks, and we didn't fill out and vote.
And that
so
is
Obama owed black people nothing. He's the part of the system. He was there to change the image,
the exact and he did point that. Is that black folks have to begin now to start writing checks.
Come on, that's not happening.
And well, then if it's not happening, we might as well just stop
vote.
Because no. Don't
say don't vote. Vote.
No, wait a minute.
Vote.
You just sat up there and said that all we did was vote. And the reason why Obama didn't move for us is because we didn't write checks. Well, maybe we should do less voting and do more check writing and get a lobbying group and push. Well, then voting isn't gonna. How do you voting isn't gonna. No, you just said.
No, voting is just one part of it. Holding people accountable by removing them from office when they don't do what they're promised to do. That's the that's the reciprocal voting process.
When they put Kamala Harris up for us in 2020, I mean 2019 for 2020, 2020.
Whatever.
When they put Kamala Harris up for us.
For who, you?
No. For the black community. She is our new black, even though she's not really black. But what I'm saying to you
black.
is,
what are you talking about?
She's not
she's
black.
You're crazy. You're
anyway,
crazy.
Listen,
That's all. How's she not black?
Listen, she's not
How's
black.
she not black?
She's not black. But anyway, listen.
What makes you black? What's the litmus test for black?
Black in this country is black in this country is 1554.
What does that mean?
And that's what that means. That means that you were brought here 1554. That's what black means.
No,
now,
that's enslavement. That's wrong. That's a Muslim number. That's a Muslim number. That's
1554. It's 1619, but 1554 starts the movement.
They weren't slaves.
They
weren't slaves when they first came here. They were navigators and part of the crew.
That's the navigators here. We talk about 5054. When
Slaves.
it started and went across and went down into Jamaica, came up through all that, right?
It wasn't until it wasn't until they wanted to, and it wasn't until they accepted policies of the British to enslave us.
And who was in power then? A light-skinned black man.
Oh, what is that? That made them not black?
Yeah,
because he's light-skinned?
No, hold it. A light-skinned black man in England was in charge.
So what does that mean?
And he's the one who implemented it in 1619
slavery
to help because he had debt with the church.
No,
and the church implemented it.
So they
the Roman Catholic Church. Do your research. But
that's all factual.
That's facts.
1699.
That is facts.
The first Africans came. 1619.
Not 1699.
I know. You got me going.
1999.
But those are the first time they were accepted and understood as slaves. As slaves.
Now
That's
look,
reality.
but it began.
No, they weren't slaves.
But 1619.
They were part of the crew. No,
this is part of the crew. Can we
slaves.
agree that people on the crew also
Not
helped
slaves.
to move human cargo?
Not slaves. The first slaves.
I'm saying
on these shores.
Can you?
16.
I didn't say they weren't. But can we agree that the people on the boats who were helping move human cargo, who were the original navigators around this planet, the first ones who were still navigating the boats, they were dark-skinned black people who thus helped the people move the boats across the Dundrums and make sure they come across right. So they're part of the crew. But they I didn't say they weren't slaves. I said that they helped. Are we in agreement?
That's
with that?
survival.
Can we agree?
That's survival. That's not helping.
So we can agree.
No, it's not agreement. I'm not.
We can agree.
No. You can say that
they help.
No,
they help.
No,
I'm
saying that if that is your job, which is what it was, to be a navigator, ship hand, and you were of color, and you took other people and traveled them across, because that was your job.
When they were on the continent, and the people were
they were enslavement on the continent. There was enslavement. The Arabs enslaved the Africans first. Let's start there.
We're talking about the chattel slavery that happened.
So you're talking about the Moors and the people like that who were the original navigators.
No, I'm talking about the Moors. We can talk about the Moors. Moor just means black.
But they were the original navigators.
Black. So what I'm saying to you, did they not go inland and pull people to the shore?
I don't know.
Come on now.
I don't know.
Come on now. They had to use people who look like you or me to bring people to entrap people. They had to. It's only common sense. It's only sense. So what I'm saying to you is, we may have educated ourselves. We may know the English language backwards and forwards. We may have Latin on our wall, but we have not advanced any further. And we were pretty advanced in 1619 on the continent of Africa. We weren't. We didn't have civilizations from before.
Civilizations in 1619 and now is a big
what I'm saying to you is, but civilizations, there's things that are built in Africa right now that they still don't know how it was built. Are we correct on that? Right. So then the civilization was there. So what I'm saying to you is, we have not. This is my premise. And I want people to write in and say, we have not advanced past 1619 in our ability to overcome white supremacy racism. Since 1619.
I would say that the goalpost has moved tremendously.
We keep moving goalposts within a system of white supremacy that we have not been able to destroy.
No, it's not. You're not going to destroy a system.
We're not going to destroy
the system. It's not going to happen. It's not
so we're just going to move the goalpost.
That is correct.
But they keep moving the goal line.
That's also correct. That's what has happened. That's the fact.
So maybe people while they are selling out. Maybe y'all should look at the 12 point. That's what I'm saying. Why they are selling out the 12-point plan? Maybe you should look at it. Maybe you should look at the 12-point plan and look at the 12-point plan. Actually use it to do grassroots organizing to actually push it through, because there will be a day beyond Trump. And while we're sitting here, while the media only covers the sensationalism of Trump, while they only cover the sensationalism of Trump, there are laws being passed with Jeff Sessions
By
who
Trump.
have been quiet.
By Trump.
Through Jeff Sessions, who are reversing the books on everything. So there will be a day after Donald Trump. So then we should be looking at all of these plans so that we can have a grassroots situation.
Grassroots is done. It's about coalition because there's not enough
What is a coalition?
There's not enough Africans that reside within the black community that participate on any measurable level to make a change, and that's the bottom line. And it's not a vague thing. It's a powerful thing. Yes, we're getting some positions.
So
we're going to participate more in the vote. But what I'm expecting you to do as a civic American is to take your chance and vote. And voting is just one part of the process. The next part of the process is making those who made those promises accountable to you. And if they don't, because what happens is you follow them, you support them, you sustain them, you go to their meetings, you do what white folks, for lack of a better term, do. When you look at the school board meeting, very few melanated people. When you look at the planning and the zoning, and what we're seeing right here, and beautiful downtown, what is called, the only thing gonna be West Las Vegas is the sign in a minute. They're developing that area. So that becomes the question. Is development of the ghetto, which is what's happened in Harlem, what's happened in Chicago, it happened in Compton, is development of these once blighted areas where people resided and often vacant buildings and drugs. Is it better now that they have white folks living there to sustain the area by new stores, new housing, and things of that nature? Is not progress of the city and the overall factor of humankind what we're really after? I don't care who lives in the community as long as they're living right. And if we can afford to stay there, then we should stay there. But because new businesses come in and housing raises in prices, and those areas that were once blighted, which were traditionally black environments with black congresspeople, are now economically and partly removed because it's part of the system of racism, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked about in the ISIS Papers, which is a book, which is a collection of essays that explain different systems and relationships that if you don't educate, if you don't fund the school, if you remove the tax base and you infiltrate the system by just letting the city have it, which is what happens because now they'll fill the gap with other things, crime, drugs, and the bottom line is it is a system that is against people who are classified or not classified as melanated, and that's not just here in America. And that's what the ISIS paper talks about, the system of racist levels that predicate on different things. Also the same thing when it comes to economics, as we see, they give us tickets and tickets and tickets in some community that sustain the overall good measure of the city and state, and they build on that, but they don't build here. It's a system of racism that unfortunately, because Africans do not participate and do not have the money to change it, you must build coalitions with other disenfranchised individuals who share the same vision of getting better conditions.
Franklin, that sharing and building coalitions with those who were disenfranchised, that has happened before. And what have those different groups done?
Nothing.
No, what have they done but broken away once they got a chance to get their classification as being Caucasian or white, where they were considered other before, but once they get their classification as being white, then they slowly peel away from those who can't change their skin color. So we've done that before. That does not work. So what we need to start doing is we need to start writing checks. And if that's not going to happen,
you don't have money,
and like you said, all we did was vote with Obama, but we did not fund Obama. So does he have
hold him accountable?
No. Wait a minute now.
That's
you can't hold him accountable if you don't fund him.
Yes, you can.
You know you can.
Yes, you can. By not voting him back in.
Okay.
By not voting him back in.
How many people were more in love with the symbolism? This is what we're talking about here. We're more in love with the symbolism of the CBC than actually finding out what the CBC is doing and holding them accountable.
They don't do
Thus
nothing.
saying, well, maybe we should just dissolve the CBC because they're doing nothing anyway but getting a paycheck.
Because they don't get audience, they don't get
and that's
paycheck
one.
They don't get audiences, but the bottom line is up to African Americans to vote them out.
Vote them out.
Vote them out. If they don't do what you say,
and you know
vote them out.
And you know what they say? They say, well, I have seniority, and if
nothing
you vote somebody
in,
if you send somebody in this new, they have to build seniority, so they have to start over. That is the game that they're playing.
But that's within Congress. What I'm talking about before they get there. If you don't get them allowed to get the seat that they want, then they don't get those jobs and
They
placements.
are
that's
the
going on.
ones,
Who?
the people who fund their campaigns are the only ones that they have to answer to.
That's right.
If
So,
voting, if we
voting
voted
changes
for
that.
Obama,
Voting
wait a minute,
changes
wait
that.
now.
Yes, it does.
We voted for Obama,
And we shouldn't
but
have voted for
Obama
him
didn't
again.
do anything
They
for us
should- well,
because we
what?
didn't fund him.
No, he had no
and thus
opportunities.
once he got
Wrong.
no, come on.
He had no opportunities to do anything. Come on.
Oh,
And
my
look at
gosh.
the numbers. The legislation and the things that he would have tried to implement to make it better. Be honest. What white person was going to make things better for black people, even if he proposed the administration to do so?
Maybe if he had
Answer that
proposed
question.
it.
No. If he had proposed it, who would vote for
Well,
it?
then same thing with
What
the CBC.
Congress- no.
Who would vote for it? So why are they there anyway?
Congressional Black
And that's
Caucus.
what-
I
that's what they're
can
saying.
answer that.
No.
What happens is they should be working together to do things that are actually most impactful within the black community. They think they may be doing it. They may make small inroads in housing. They may make small inroads in education. They need to figure out, as the pastors went there to talk about legislation that would be impactful for judicial and incarceration numbers and investigations, supporting the citizenry as opposed to what the Attorney General has said he's going to support the cops. By changing that and making it a job action, that actually makes it better for all people. Because the cops just ain't kicking black people's booty. They beating white people up too. Perfect example, this movie that just came out. Got all the Academy Awards. 3 billboards in Oakwood, whatever it is. You ever see this?
What is it?
It was some movie that got all these Academy Awards. It was about 3 billboards.
Oh yeah, I
Small
saw that.
town.
Saw that.
You saw that movie?
Yeah, saw it.
If you saw that movie, you saw pure white racism. Everybody in the movie lied, from the lady who set the precinct on fire and the cop asked, "Did you do it?" He said, "No, I was with her." Even from the beginning, when they talk about the police officer who did not, or probably did not investigate the crime that started the whole thing out, he got off by killing himself. And then said, "Hey, blah, 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 I'm sorry I couldn't do this, I'm sorry." The whole story is about white folks not doing it. Even when the cop went over and broke out windows in a business, and everybody knew that the same cop had already been beating up black people, they all accepted it. The only person who went to jail in the whole movie was a black woman, who, when a white woman, the mother of the other cop, said, "Well, if you can't get at her, beat up her friends." This movie was pure purge, and white people loved it. The bottom line is, racism is here. It's effectual. It's being accepted. Obama could not change anything. He had no votes. He had no juice. He was only in the Senate for a little while, so he had no friends, favors, or concessions that he could definitely pull favors in from. He was nothing but imaging, and African Americans need to accept that. We got the image change, so at least you'll be able to say, or a lot of children now can say, "I saw a black president." That's all he was going to get. There was no way he was going to get any legislation going through. He didn't have the death of Kennedy as Johnson did. He didn't have the economic revolution as Reagan was able to do. He didn't even have good communism. But if you look at it now, President Obama accomplished the only mission he was to accomplish, which was to change the imaging of America for a small period of time. I said that going in. I was one of the original Obamites. I did have buyer's remorse, but even if you look at it, even if he didn't participate in, if he wasn't going to vote for him, the choice that he had of not voting for him would have just brought Reagan out sooner, would have just brought Trump out sooner. Because the realities are, he was a figurehead, just like Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter couldn't get anything done either. He was there to change the image of Nixon. He was there to change the image of America. That's how he was able to get Sadat and Spain together. The things that he could do were limited to other countries. It wasn't about changing anything in the American economy or lexicon. So let's put Obama to rest. Gave us good imaging. We hope that Michelle and the girls will work out fine. They sacrificed for us, but they weren't going to change anything because he wasn't going to get any legislation. So be real on that. It's about image change.
So what makes it possible? Okay, so I'm going off your premise now. So let's stay on this premise. Obama wasn't able to do anything. He was imaging. So what is any politician that looks like us going to be able to do for us if the person who was supposed to be the most powerful person in the world, what are they supposed to be able to do for us?
Well, easy. The same thing as Dr. King did. That would be the imaging in the model, I would say, because he was able to get legislation approved through coalition building and the outright sacrifice of the masses of people and making that present to all-day Americans suffering. That's the only way to do it, to use used the vehicle, as Trump has used television, mass media, and things like our podcast, by making the masses aware of how aware and we feel this country is and where it could be. Dr. King got concessions because he made relationships with businesses because they knew the boycott could be effective. They knew Dr. King speaking on something could be effective to a certain point.
Wait a minute. Obama didn't have the Kennedy assassination because Obama would have had to be Kennedy. Okay? So
they weren't going to let that
so,
happen.
So, 63, 65, 68. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so Kennedy is assassinated. Then the Civil Rights Act then is passed because Johnson was able to push it through for sympathy for
of course,
the
like the
president
space
being
program,
assassinated.
the same thing.
But you said that Martin Luther King was able to get concessions and because he had made relationships, but really it was because there was an assassination of a president that was leaning more towards his way that got it done. So what you're telling me is history has to repeat itself, and there has to be an assassination of a president that's moving towards the goals of black people, and then the black leadership then can get credit for still being out there on the front lines pushing it. But if it was no assassination, then there would be no Civil Rights Act. I'm just trying to get the understanding of what you said.
Because you're way out there with assassination.
That's what you said.
Stop that. No.
That's
what
you said.
Your interpretation is. What I'm saying is events led to events. No other way did I call for an assassination.
I didn't say you called for it.
Hear me as I'm answering you. I stopped you as soon as you used the word. There were events that happened that channeled the reaction in America. Dr. King was ultimately assassinated. He did not work off the heels. What I'm saying is Johnson was able to use some of the civil rights movement things that he knew Kennedy wanted done and would have gotten done based on his assassination. The same way Johnson was able to keep NASA going. This way Johnson was able to keep the Peace Corps going. Those incidents
because of the
tragic
sympathy,
right? The
for
tragic
the death of Kennedy.
But it doesn't have to.
These were the things that he was pushing for.
Wait a minute.
And when he was there, though, he wasn't getting any traction.
You don't know that he wasn't the president. He wasn't the president then. But he became the president, and that's part of leadership, assuming the responsibilities that is given to you. And that's what he did. He carried that legacy forward. The same way we see Trump now. Before that, we saw Dick Cheney, who was a legacy of Ronald Reagan, who was a legacy of McCarthy. It's about the legacy of the individual who was there. The same administration, if you look at now, these guys, we'll mention Sessions again, Beauregard, they worked in the administrations prior, and they were able to capitalize on things that the last administration had.
Trump
based on
legacy.
But the legacy,
Cheney?
Wait, you don't know that. And he is on the legacy of training. It is.
Because he was a Democrat. So he would be the legacy
of
the Dixiecrats.
No, you're wrong.
Yes. He would be his pops
not
and him, Dixiecrats.
Not so.
Probably.
Not so.
Most likely.
Not so.
Most like probable and probably.
Not so. Because what is a Dixiecrat but a Southerner who was a Democrat and under that guise, but at the same time,
and the Dixiecrats switched over to the Republicans.
They became Reaganites.
No.
Let's go back.
No, they switched over once Johnson said they would never take the South again. Once he started pushing the civil rights, the Dixiecrats turned to Republicans, and this is where we are. And people don't know that simple history.
But it doesn't make a difference.
Yes, it is because you know where they're coming from.
No, but
right?
Hold up. You know where they're coming from before because based on the fact there's always been racism here. Always.
And let's add on that the Democrats, the white Democrats, have not actually really changed because they're still Dixiecrats. Because when Obama was in there, they didn't help, and they were afraid to even say that they agreed with anything that the black president had to say because they wanted to appeal to their Caucasian constituencies. Well, I'm just saying but see, that's what I'm saying. We cannot forget history because he's modern history.
No.
We're talking about forget him, and those 8 years are the textbook case to why white folks, liberal and progressive and conservative, are in a battle for the soul of America. We need to sit this one out. Hold
on, different view. How about that was the beginning of what could be the future coalition party that we need to defeat people like 45? Because as I keep telling you,
Who said that?
I say that there's not enough black votes to make it happen. There's not.
Sneezing from it. Oh, wait a minute.
He's talking all that.
Wait a minute. That's it.
You know what? I was coming up. I think I was coming up on us.
I know, because we got to move on to the next subject. But this is so good because we give it 45. You know, I saw Talking Head.
Isn't about elected as much as they say they're going to do work to elect. Yeah, all right, Rodney. So we know you're still running for Congress, man. We got to figure that out. But African Americans, as you know, they're not supporting us at the checkbox, so to speak. They need to support us at the ballot box. That's free.
You know what I'm saying?
And then hopefully when you get individuals like you elected, holding you accountable and making you do what you say, which is what my whole thing is. I appreciate all the sacrifice that everyone tries to make it better, even at that. But I'm working for it because even as the hat says, make America better. Ain't that part of America? Don't I deserve to have it better? African Americans are way further down the road than they were when they were enslaved or first born here on these shores. Because look at this beautiful place I live in. I'm a product of the ghetto. I'm melanated. I'm the true Pan-Africanist. So are you.
The product of the ghetto?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in the ghetto.
See that?
I grew up on a nice street, paved, tree,
So
a lawn.
So that means you are better now. You are better now than you were 20 years ago or 40 years ago or grandfather's time. African Americans are doing better. Because as you said, and even though you lived in those confines, you still suffered oppression. You still didn't have white privilege. You still, no matter what, in your DNA, your structure, your essence, at one point, you know in your own mind, through your own education, you was enslaved.
Well, I can tell you.
You was
enslaved.
when
I first expressed it.
You was enslaved. So that's what I'm saying.
I
So you
can
had
tell
that.
you
So
when I first
it didn't make a
felt
difference about
impression.
but it didn't make a difference about your street being lined and nice and having a librarian and knowing. You still.
That's my librarian, she was a hidden treasure. Sitting up there with those Farrakhan VHS tape. That's right. Thanks, librarian.
But hey, before we get out of here talking about people who stand up real quick, we got to salute the NFL players who came out yesterday. The Giants. I got my Jets shirt on. I'm supporting the long shot. But I got my Jets shirt on. Come on, man. Chill out, Jefferson. He wants to be on TV. The players who did and will, I guess, as we talk about preseason, because the NFL and Trump tweeted about it, again, further separating and disengaging us from the larger mass of the Americanism of having your own spirit. Because if you're not going to protest and you have the platform, when are you supposed to protest?
Claude Anderson says, that's nothing but black people. There's a stick, and the white supremacists holding it, and they trying to hit you in your head, and you standing up, but you like, don't hit me in my head. There's no proactiveness there. There's just standing there. Don't hit me in my head. Don't hit me in my head. Please don't hit me in my head. But you're ducking and you're slipping and you're ducking.
What do you mean proactive? What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do?
When did we get proactive?
Wait. What would you?
When did we start writing checks as a group of people?
Oh, come on, man.
That's
an
abstract.
abstract. I try to be a little older with my theories and my theorems, and I understand. The bottom line is, unless you have the platform to make your statements, much like the gentleman did in the Olympics, much like Muhammad Ali did, much like even Frederick Douglass did, even Phyllis Wheatley, when she gave a speech and talked in front of white abolition women and said, am I not a woman too, and exposed her bare breast? The oppression that you suffer, if you don't take the platform and the chance when you have it to make some kind of dent and inroad, even as we saw this week with the NFL and the players who got their golden jackets gold jacket, yellow jacket for being in the Hall of Fame, none of them, we're not saying none of them, a few spoke out, but Randy Moss wore a tie that had people who were assassinated by the police, and he wore that there, and he made a point of letting people know these people suffered, and some of the things today's NFL players are standing up to make the country more aware of is what we need. Same thing with Rodney King. White people didn't believe black people got treated like that till they saw the Rodney King video. You have to take your platform and address it where you can to get the most information out there. The NFL players, they're NFL players. I appreciate the fact that they're taking a knee, those who are conscious. It would be different if we could get all the players to take a knee, or at least the majority of NFL players to take a knee. White and black, coalition building. The problem that Kaepernick is talking about is a high rate of African American death by cop. So that needs to be talked about and recognized.
We went back to Frederick Douglass,
right?
And we
who stood up and challenged.
Who stood up and challenged. This is a long, winding road.
So
of people standing up and letting people know about things. Let me tell you something. After Rodney King got beat in the 90s, in the early 90s,
it changed policing.
Everybody knows that it happens. Now it's like black death porn by police. Every time you see something on Facebook where you see, they got the one where the guy, they pulled the elder off the tractor and stun gunned him to death. They just put that up. They got another one where the cops in Chicago slammed a 15-year-old and he started having a seizure right there on the ground. This is black man or black boy or black woman, a black girl murder porn by police.
But wait,
it's not so what I'm saying.
It makes it more apparent for the larger society to see those things.
It makes it more apparent, but it is becoming, because people know since Rodney King take the beating.
No,
what I'm saying is people don't
generational.
No. The main point is we have been doing this, and now it's turning into entertainment, and people are using it as entertainment. It is entertainment. If it's on Facebook, it's selling ads.
My phone died.
If it's on Facebook,
I see they're talking to us.
If it's on Facebook, it's selling ads, because we are pretty much the entertainment on Facebook, and they sell ads for us being that, right?
Oh,
so what I'm saying is it's entertainment, and anything that a person is pro-black rights, they block it and say it's not policy. Anytime someone puts something up where either we're dancing, twerking, or we're getting our heads cracked.
White people too. I see white people getting their head cracked.
No. You see white people getting their hair cracked, but this is a situation. Well, anyway, this will never end because it's going to go around into a circle. And the main point is, we talk about Frederick Douglass, and we're moving on down the line, and we talk about all the different times that we had to assert ourselves to say, hey, we're human. Hey, this is happening to us. People already know that this is happening to us. You are not going to.
Trouble with the connection. Please try again in a moment.
Oh my goodness! You are not going to get.
1%.
You are not going to get your salvation or another group of people rescuing you from what's happening. They're not going to rescue you from what's happening. You have to save yourself. So no matter how much we talk about, look at what's happening to us, people are numb to it. They don't care. They really, it don't care. It doesn't come from me. My situation is hard too. That's what they'll say. I say my situation is hard too. I have trouble with police, but it's not the history of it. And so we keep on going around in circles doing the same thing. It's time to do something different. Get off the hamster wheel, and maybe cutting checks and forcing people, well, maybe we might not have this. Kilpatrick over in Detroit. Wait a minute. The people, the coalition. Wait a minute. The coalition. Wait a minute now. The coalition of black men got together and they said they wanted something. A person that was younger to run. We're talking about the initial possibility. We're not talking about what he did. We're talking about what the Black Men Coalition did to bring the people together. It was on the documentary.
That don't make it right.
They picked the women. Hold it now. We're not talking about what he did. We're talking about how they came together. They pooled their money, their connections, their resources, and made him the youngest mayor of Detroit's history.
What did he do?
So what I'm saying is,
what did he bring
he
to
may
Detroit?
have been the wrong person, but but there's plenty of wrong people. There's plenty of wrong people who are Caucasian is wrong for us.
You brought him up.
Trump is wrong. Trump is wrong for us. Trump is wrong for everybody. So what I'm saying is, so we can have mistakes, but keep on getting back up and keep on putting people into position. That's all.
Vote.
Pull the money I think
Black people have money.
I think
Black people don't have money.
unless it's someone.
Black people don't have money.
Listen. Unless
Not enough
they
money.
have enough money to do what they
Not
want to
enough
do.
money.
Aren't
Not
we
enough money.
1.2?
Nothing.
Aren't we 1.2 billion?
Spending.
So
Trillion.
we can
So you
spend
can't. But
trillion.
no, what about
Okay, wait a
saving?
minute.
What about
wait a
saving?
minute.
It's not about
you
spending
can
money.
spend
It's about saving money.
1.2 trillion.
That's because Negroes.
Then you can take 1.2 trillion, half of that,
Dreaming in his
and
dream.
put it behind
Dream.
candidates.
Dream.
And
Dream.
get them, and then vote.
Dream.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be real clear with this.
Don't be
If
clear.
we
Be
don't
factual.
have, it's gonna be clear and factual. If we don't have our money behind the candidate,
No way.
and then vote for them,
Not gonna happen.
it is not in the best
No.
interest of black people
not
to
about
vote.
money. No, it's in
And
the
that
interest of black
is
people to vote.
the clear.
Don't listen to this
If-
guy. He's
if-
out to
if-
lunch with lunch meat.
If one more time now,
Gotta
if
vote.
one more time now,
Gotta vote.
One more time. If we do not have pulled our money, and our money is not behind the candidate,
Never
we have
behind
not
the candidate.
funded the candidate, then
weren't-
vote for them. The candidate is nothing. Nothing will be done for us by that candidate
Bro,
because they have to answer to those who funded them. And that is the answer to all of this.
Bro.
We have to put our money behind the candidate, then vote for the candidate. We learn Obama is modern history. We don't have to forget him. We have to learn from him. He was
We didn't put
financed
money
by
behind-
others. He did everybody else's agenda except for black folks. So this time, whoever they put up, we're putting the money behind them, and then with a little sense, put it in there, send it in. We're putting the money behind it, and then we vote because we've been doing voting, relying on the different parties, the Democratic Party, to put up who we want, who we think, who they say will be the person who can beat a Republican. We go out there and vote for them, and they do nothing for us because we put no skin in the game. You got to have skin in the game, and so that is what it is. Skin in the game. Besides being woe is me, getting your head beat, we need to put money into the game, and then vote for the game. Put money in the game and vote for the game. Put money in the game and then vote in the game. 3 times. You have to say it 3 times. Put money in the game to vote for the game.
Okay.
That's what it is. And
All right.
speaking of putting money and putting skin in the game, you know we have K-Hemp 18.6. You know, it's the only black-owned TV station right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You know what I'm saying? I'm the person who does the programming. I upload this. You will see this on here. Matter of fact, you can go right there on 18.6 K-Hemp and you can see a strong dose of Franklyn G and Like It Is Radio on there. Because you know what? The people I shoot, I make sure they're seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated.
Photograph.
That's right. No, when I shoot them, photograph them, when I use my camera to do that cinematography that people tell me I do so well. The people are seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. So get your digital antenna right here in Las Vegas. 18.6 K-Hemp. You can see us. We're developing shows. We want people who want to put skin in the game to come in and produce your programming to be put on to Black Book TV. That's happening. Also, coming up mid-August, you will see Crazy Dee and Lord Land Films in Atlanta through BOP TV. That's Black on Purpose Television. You see the theme here, and it's under Live. It's Lord Land Intellectual Vibe Electric Channel on BOP TV. Shout out to Michael Campbell, who is the manager
MC,
and CEO
what up, man?
of BOP TV.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And of course, so that means you're gonna see this on BOP TV as well. Oh my goodness, I am dying over here. I am a germaphobe, and the dog is sneezing here. I can't believe it. So let us continue on. LordlandFilms.com. That's LordlandFilms.com and LordlandFilms.com /LordlandTV. LordlandFilms.com Lordland TV. Make sure you go out there and check out all the films. You can check out the various episodes. Actors here in Las Vegas, we actually shoot it. We actually edit it. I write it. I narrate it. Then I edit it up, and it actually comes out for people to be seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. That's what we're about here at LordlandFilms.com, getting our people seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. So we're giving you many different places to see. Now wait a minute, you are one of the people who are featured. Jefferson, look at Jefferson. We should get him an acting role. He just said, anyway, listen, people. So, and don't forget, Miss Diva. Miss Diva. Diva's Comedy. Available on Vimeo, on Amazon Music, on Tidal. You can stream that boy and laugh your butt off. You got the Tidal thing. You see what I'm saying? Do you get the theme here? Every time we at Lordland Films say that something is coming out, it comes out. It actually happens. So, because we are out for a mission to make sure that we chronicle what's happening in Las Vegas like I chronicle what happened in my hometown, right? So we are here so that people are seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. When I say that I'm going to do something, it actually happens because I come from Cleveland, Ohio, which is a word is bond city. And if you don't keep your word, then you're less than zero.
Talking about the CBC again.
You could be Negro.
Oh boy.
Negro.
Let's get out of here.
The Greek. Wait a minute. What is
the
it? What is
Pleiades,
it?
y'all.
The Latin and the Greek and the Latin together. Negro meaning zero, meaning less than zero. That's the only. They just posted something. You could be Negro or you could be a black man, a black woman. That's what I like about Franklin. Listen.
Get out of here.
No, wait a minute. We're gonna get out of here, but I gotta say this about Franklin. This is what I like. Anybody that you see, anyone, not anybody, but anyone that you see that I say that we stand and we do stuff together, it's because they are men of their word or women of their word. When I sit with them word, because I'm a person of my word. So this man has brought much culture to a city that already had its culture, but is bringing and continuing the continuum of bringing African culture here to
that part of America too.
Bringing the history so that we can connect. And this is what we've been talking about for this last hour and a half, which is a real robust show. I mean, we didn't even get to the other two topics because it was all intermingled.
There was the red moon, the energy change. We had the longest lunar eclipse a couple of days ago. And right now we're in the Pleiades, which is like a meteor shower that happens every year. If you get a chance, get out there somewhere just a little further out of Vegas and just look up, just around sunset. The Earth is passing through a stream of comet dust, if you will, that creates these meteors. So, not big ones, but the meteor shower is supposed to peak the 10th through the 13th. So,
and August is also the beginning of the change of the season.
Get into school.
But it's also transition, and usually, traditionally in August, things happen real big for black people, and then August.
That's called harvest.
It's harvest, but traditionally, when you research the history, you find out that a lot of positive things of strength have happened in August for black people.
Vote.
So always remember, vote. Once we put the money into the candidate, then vote or expect to have the same thing that has happened before happen again. Let me say this real quick. From a person who has been a registrar of voters since 1990, I went down to the Board of Elections and swore in, put my right hand up. I believe in voting. I'm not going to say don't vote, but I say let's vote with education in mind. And education says we don't get anywhere unless we put money behind the candidate.
Asians don't put money behind the candidate. They get what they
want. No. They just put money into the candidate and don't vote. They don't vote. They just put money. They come down. They come down. Women. We'll get to that. Women now. We'll get to that because you just said Asians. Asians don't vote. They just put the money to the candidate, and then they get what they want. No, and then they get people vote. Off who kill black people. They get them off. Like what happened in New York?
Oh, come on.
But he never voted for him, but they put enough pressure on him because they said, "Well, we got the money to put somebody else up in there."
But the lady at the black lady with the broom, see black business.
Don't worry, she'll be back in there.
No, they're closing her down.
Because you know what? They may close her down, but you know when they arrested her, they didn't have cuffs on her, and that's all I have to say. Okay, so men who cook.
August is here. It's hot. We're talking about men who cook. September is coming upon us, but Saturday, October 20th, men who cook. It's going to be, if you will, a culinary tasting device of appetizers prepared by men of this community. That's right, small tastings, not a meal. Like when you go to the wine tasting, you get a demi-tasse, which is a half glass. We're going to serve you a small tasting of some food and border fare that men in the Las Vegas Valley cook. We have tables available. You can reach us. Go to Master. This is a fundraiser for Mastering Mindsets to continue some of the future excursions that they had. You know, they just went to Los Angeles to see King Tut. They had 4 or 5 events with me this year. We brought in Professor Ashura Crazy. We brought in Baba James Small. We brought in Dr. Lennon Jeffrey. We showed the movie 1804. We had the Emancipation Circle. All of this is available on Lordland Films. Emancipation Circle. We had a museum for black folks. We're doing this 501c donation. This is a chance for men in the community because you said it's harvest time in October. Saturday, October 20th, we're looking for your support to come out and taste the cooking, the tasting, culinary sampling delights of the men of this community. The event is called Men Who Cook. And we will present a small border fair, a tasting, Saturday afternoon from 4 to 7 at the 100 Academy of Excellence, 2341 Comstock Avenue. And this will be a charitable donation. Men will prepare food, and there will be a small love donation to enter. And we hope to have at least 25 different men's cooking samplings for the community. We have the headliner entertainer who's going to give us a bit of his gift in the form of Mr. E.C. Adams, world-renowned headliner here in Vegas, often all over the world. E.C. Adams is going to share a little love with us. We're going to have men cooking their small border fairs in this culinary tasting delight, culinary event here in Las Vegas, and it's going to be African elegant attire. African elegant attire. And that's what we're going to do. The men will serve their food to the participants who are coming to taste it. If you have a small business, you want to set the table. We got so many folks involved.
African elegant attire.
We're going to hook you
such
up.
As this
men
right here.
Who cook.
You
and
see this?
When you got a brother like this, right here, my man, Crazy on. I didn't go to Egypt this year, but my friends did. And I
did.
I said, hook me up. My brother needs a galabia.
A galabia.
And that's what they wear in traditional Africa all over. And this thing is so soft. I got it. My man hooked me up. See, that's the thing about when you have good friends, you're surrounded by good people. You ain't got to go. They do the work for you, much like our politicians. My man I made a relationship with, Mr. Calvin Lockhart, and the group went to Kemet New with Professor Ashura and Mira Akwazi, as they've been doing for the past 42 years. We're going back to Egypt next year in August this time. That's the time we go. We go on part 2. But my man Calvin Lockhart, a Las Vegas resident, came. There were some other folks who went on the trip this year, but I asked him to hook me up, to hook my boy up, and that's what happens. When you have good people, good things happen to them.
And I am an official size 8. I just found out I'm a size 8 in Morocco and Egypt and all over. I'm a size 8.
Well, that's good for you. But it ain't
hey, that's the same size as my head size. Size 8. All right.
You know what they say? The man who wears the biggest hat in the world has the biggest head. In any event, we're gonna get.
No, we're not done yet. We're not done. We're not done yet.
What?
Because the following week,
okay,
from the 23rd through the 28th, is Black Business Week. Last year in October, Brian Harris, who is also going to be at Men Who Cook.
Yeah, he get a table.
That's right.
Black
he
TV.
The table, Black Book TV. Last year he had the first annual Black Las Vegas food. Something like I can't remember now. I'm going to blank here. But last year was the first one, and we have the documentary up because it was combined with the Caribbean Fest. So we have that. We have the nice Caribbean Fest, ladies dancing along with the interviews and things. Go check out that 40-minute documentary that was put down the very next day after the festivities.
By who?
On LordlandFilms.com.
By who?
It's on LordlandFilms.com.
You gotta say it 3 times. By who?
LordlandFilms.com. That's right. You gotta say it 3 times. So that is coming up the 23rd through the 28th
Black business.
in Las Vegas.
That's gonna be on TV.
Nevada.
That's gonna be on
Of course,
TV.
it's gonna be on TV.
What's it gonna be on?
It's gonna be on K-Hemp 18.6.
Shut your mouth.
That's right. So listen, it's a lot of things, and is there anything else that we need to mention? Oh yes, we love coming to you and bringing this podcast to you. We love it. We love it, and we're gonna start having guest hosts sitting up on the counter. You know,
We gotta get Cheryl up in here. We gotta get Cheryl up in here.
Yeah.
She did a great job today for Like It Is Radio. Appreciate what you do, Cheryl. Like forward.
That's right. She did her thing. So I think that's about it.
That's
Is
it.
there anything else?
I think
we covered everything.
We covered a few things.
We did a few things.
We'll come back because Spike Lee movie's out today. We didn't get the chance to see it, but I'm gonna try to see it tomorrow.
Oh, the review will be coming up on. There we go. Thank you, Franklin.
See that, man? Just bounce pass.
Review
Bounce pass.
will be coming up on the film review.
Yeah, man, can I sit in the back seat,
man,
man? Can I sit in the back seat, man?
The film review, that is movies, music, culture, and anything else that comes to our minds.
It's
That's
mine.
the podcast.
What up, Trace?
Between myself and my wife, Tracy,
The better half.
And we just finished
Tracy, you wanna wear
celebrating.
my hat?
We just finished celebrating on
What?
On August 8th. 21 years
How did
of
you
marriage.
do it? How'd you do it?
It's called communication.
I was talking to her. I
A
wasn't
lot
talking
of
to you.
understanding.
I wasn't talking to you.
I
was talking
already
to
answered
Tracy.
the question.
I was talking to
Wait,
Tracy.
wait,
How
listen.
you do it?
Listen. So 21 years. We've been together 28 years.
Oh boy.
Actually, we did the official ceremony in 21 years. But we actually been together as 28 years. So we actually been married 28 years. If you go
Girl,
into
you almost get a
biblical-
pension.
If you
30,
go into
you get a pension.
If you go into biblical aspects of it, you know,
Trying to get rid of the Bible.
the ring and the license, everything is for the state. But when you come together as one, you are married then. So I always ask people who haven't necessarily read those passages in Genesis, how many husbands do you have and how many wives do you have? Because actually, when you become together as one with another person, you are married. So, but
We
to
better
each
stop on
their
that one.
own,
Yeah,
where
stop on that
what they
You about to
believe.
lose
To
fans.
each their own, whatever they believe. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. I know me. I'm not a dogma type person. I don't wear my dogma on the sleeve. So, but that is where we will end it for today.
Supporting the
I
hat.
want to shout out to
get
my
some
wife
fucking
one more
music
time to say happy anniversary.
The moments. Who sang that?
Happy anniversary. Put a little hip hop in it.
That's just a
Happy anniversary. 21 year anniversary.
Now that you just embarrassed her.
Did. That sound cold. You see it on the turntables.
We gotta
All
get
right.
out of here because that is nothing but
Crazy
facts.
Oh God! I thought we were closing out for real.
Oh, we close out.
Okay, yeah, we were closing out. So, okay, people. So we have had fun with this.
Always.
We enjoy it.
We covered it for you.
And remember, we cannot be controlled by others' opinions of how long shit should go. Because if we want to go 10 hours, damn it, we'll go 40. Oh God, that's gonna be edited anyway because this is for TV. So anyway. This has been another installment of Franklyn G and
Simo and Crazy Dee. I put Simo in there because he was part of the project. But just plain old, my man, Crazy Dee, who makes it happen, makes it seem, makes it look good, makes it sound good. You know, if there's a place to be, he's going to be there. If you want to get down with us right here, let us know. We got the channel for y'all now. And you know, all you got to do is go, look, what does it say?
filmmaker.
They know that.
All right. And so this has been another great installment of Nothing But the